things that you can do in your marriage to make it a living hell. And who knows, you may be doing some of these things already if you're looking up relationship podcasts. So I'm going to be covering these three things in detail. These are things that many men do, that they think they're being a nice guy, they're being a caring guy, or potentially know you're doing the wrong thing. But I'm going to explain exactly why this is taking away the respect, the intimacy, and loyalty from your relationship, and potentially leading to divorce or leading to being on the brink of divorce. So, before we get into the episode, let me introduce myself. My name is Sasha Fedorovsky. I'm a relationship coach for men, and I'm the founder of the Mind Heart Method, which is the leading program for men to help save their marriage, even from the brink of divorce, in 90 days or less. And a little bit of a background about me and why I know so much about men and relationships. Let me tell you that this was never part of the plan, but I had the honor of gathering this knowledge from a background of always working with men. First of all, in business, stress management, working with a lot of masculine men, from my clients to my bosses, from very masculine industries, from automotive, finance, football, all across the world, and later deepening my skills as a personal coach, working in the men's health medical space. This is where I came up with the Mind Heart Method, by using all the insights and knowledge from working with hundreds of men and gathering the knowledge of leading men's health psychologists, researchers, and doctors, and putting all this information together in a way that potentially is a bit taboo and outside of the traditional system, in the way that actually works and that gets results really quickly. This is where the Mind Heart Method has been born. So if you're currently struggling in your marriage, if you're on the brink of divorce, if your wife is giving you an ultimatum, or there hasn't been physical intimacy in years, I still do have spots available for my high level one-to-one. You can book a one-to-one strategy session with me in the link below. But otherwise, let's get back to the episodes. And the reason I do these episodes is because I can't coach every man, but this is information that men need. This is information that your woman is craving you to know, and it's information that's vital to hold your family together and to create healthy, well put together children for the future. So please share this link if you find it useful. So let's get back to the topic. What are the three things that you can do to make your marriage a living hell? Obviously, this is a pun. I don't want you to be doing these things. And the first one is this: allowing your wife to lead, whether it's financially, whether it's in the bedroom, or even deciding on the city that you live in. All of these have a noise attached to it, but bow. This means that you're losing. Whenever your wife is leading, she lowers respect for you. This means financially, you must be in control of the finances, even if your wife is earning more money. This is the twist. Otherwise, she will not respect you, not because she's earning more, but because you're not taking control of the finances and paying the bills. If your wife is leading in the bedroom, this is another very common phenomenon that is normal. We even have jokes about it in society, that women are the gateway, the gatekeepers to physical intimacy. But if this is the case, that means you're on the submissive side, and it's likely that you're begging your wife for physical intimacy. If you are here and she's here, you're begging. And so you cannot be the leader. You must make sure that you're not equal, but you're on top, right? This is how she respects you and she submits to you. And how you do that is you take control of intimacy. You decide when intimacy occurs and you take initiative, right? Financial, emotional, and physical. On all levels, you are not allowed to let your wife to lead unless you want your marriage to be a living hell. Number two is avoidance. Avoiding your relationship, particularly the emotional side of your marriage, by overworking, by throwing yourself into work. This is not healthy providing. Anytime we or any type of holic, from a workaholic to an alcoholic, then we are pushing against something we don't want. We are avoiding. We are allowing our fear to run us by putting a blindfold on and throwing ourselves into something else. Eventually, this will lead to burnout or divorce. And divorce is burnout on some level. Your system is saying it's too much, we need to stop. So being a workaholic is a sure way to do it. Being an alcoholic, a drug addict, throwing yourself into affairs, things like that, these are all forms of avoidance because you're not emotionally connected. You're not connected to yourself. You're not connected to your wife. And this is leaving a huge gap in your marriage. And this is a sure way to create a wife who is unhappy because she's not getting a vital nutrient from the relationship. And then eventually she will take things away, like physical intimacy, like her loyalty, like her respect. She will disconnect. So if you want your marriage to be a living hell, then you must avoid. Avoid your emotions, avoid your wife's emotions, and throw yourself into something like work, sex, affairs, and other distractions. And number three, if you want your marriage to be a living hell or a silent misery, then simply go with the flow. Don't upgrade yourself. Don't get an education on relationships. Simply do what your father did. Simply take that example. Simply assume that she'll be right, as it's said in Australia, meaning she won't be right, meaning that things just go with the flow. So I want you to imagine if you did this with your business. If you simply invested capital in a business, you simply started a business without doing research, without having the knowledge, the tools, the understanding, not only on the theme or the topic of your business, but also how a business is run, it's likely you would fail. And this is the same in relationships. But many very smart and intelligent men, men who have come to me in introductory sessions, have had this misbelief that the marriage just should be easy. Knowing how to understand, how to lead, how to manage a woman should be easy. Well, the reason that your relationship isn't bringing you ultimate satisfaction and isn't feeling balanced, and maybe feeling like a living hell, is because you don't have the knowledge and the tools in order to get it to run properly. It's like buying a Ferrari and not knowing how to drive. You're set for disaster. And so if you simply go through your relationship without learning any of the tools, the one way you're going to succeed is you go through many relationships and you learn through experience. This might cost you a few divorces, a few breakups, and maybe eventually you'll get there. It's actually second relationships that tend to be more successful, and it's for the reason that most people learn from the first one. But often people don't. And if you want to stay in your relationship, it's not out of balance because it's broken or something is wrong. You simply don't have the information. It's likely you're a CEO, but you have a plumbing problem. You're not going to get in there and you're not going to fix the toilet yourself. You're going to call a plumber. You have a heart problem. You're not going to perform the heart surgery yourself. You're going to call a surgeon. This is the same with your relationship. And this is the first time in history that relationships are being disrupted in such a way because our survival needs are met. And women can also provide and create that financial security for herself. And governments, if you're living in a first world country, which I assume if you're watching this podcast or listening that you are, women are protected by the government to some degree. So now they want more. And as a man, you want more as well. You want to feel that connection. You want to have intimacy with your wife because she truly desires it, not because it's a job that she has to do, particularly if it's a job that she really doesn't want to do. So these are the three reasons, or three things that you must do if you want your marriage to be a living hell, or simply don't do if you want your marriage to feel euphoric. If you want your marriage to feel better than it did when you first met. And this is completely possible when you step into your leadership, you upgrade your relationship skills, and you understand a woman so that you know how to lead her. You learn how to lead her to be the best version of herself and the best wife and woman to you that she can be. And this can happen very quickly. With my clients, it happens in 90 days or less. So let me give you a little bit of a recap. If you want your marriage to be a living hell, then let your wife lead. Let her lead financially. Let her lead in the bedroom and let her make all the key decisions, all of the little decisions as well. This is guaranteed to cause her to not respect you, to raise her cortisol levels and her testosterone levels, and reduce her estrogen. A lot of women, in fact, who are going through menopause at the moment, it's simply because they've been over responsible and overburdened and too much on their masculine side. And you can actually help her to reduce these menopause symptoms by alleviating her of this masculine role. Number two is avoidance. This is a man's natural biology to avoid because you needed to avoid fear or a potential danger to go out into the jungle to hunt an animal or to go out in the battlefield. This has been ingrained in you. But the danger you're now avoiding is an emotional danger because you've never been taught how to manage your own emotions, what they are, and how to manage a woman's emotions. And so you feel afraid on an unconscious level. You don't like to deal with a problem you can't solve. This isn't your fault. It's your biology as a man. So you'll throw yourself into work. You'll throw yourself into affairs, easy ways to get love or dopamine hits instead of dealing with the danger, the wife, or any other addiction or any other avoidance coping mechanism, the news, social media, whatever it is. When you avoid something, you create a gap. You create a gap for something else to enter. You create space between you and your wife, and before you know it, the space is a divorce. So this is a sure way to make your marriage a living hell or a life of quiet desperation. And number three is just assuming that if you did what your father did, you're going to have a happy relationship. If you just be yourself and you just go with the flow, you're going to have a happy relationship. Or she'll be right. Things will just work out because relationships are normal and natural. Well, coming together is normal and natural, but men and women were never designed to live together. So that part is new. And in this day and age, as women are changing, men are changing, and our world is rapidly changing, you will be left behind if you don't upgrade your relationship skills. The best way you can do that is start by watching my free Success Masterclass for Men. It's a 45-minute class. It's absolutely free. You should be able to find the link up here. The next thing you can do is you can download my free intimacy guide, my intimacy transformation guide. This will give you all the information you need on how you will bring back the intimacy and desire back in your relationship. Or if you're on the brink of divorce, if you've got problems, this will tell you exactly what's going on and how you can solve the problem. If you're ready to take action, if you want to take initiative, look at these links, but for one-to-one advice, for more information that you're going to get in a coaching program, in any other coaching program, years of therapy, book a one-to-one session, strategy session with me. Find out why every man that books this session says that he got more out of this session than any other course, program, therapy, that I pretty much answer all his questions. And the reason I can do this is because I've worked with hundreds of men. And although your situation is unique, the problems are not unique. They're going on all the time. And if some men have been able to solve this problem, then you can too. Your marriage isn't broken. You're just missing information. So I hope this was helpful. Leave me a comment below what resonated with you, what questions you have. I want to make more content for you to help you create a satisfying relationship and save your marriage. Talk soon.